Uh, investigating AI deepfakes by Coffeezilla. All right, let's do it.
Today we're investigating
Minimum effort.
AI deepfakes.
For the scams, propaganda,
and harassment that they enable.
Pretty spooky, right?
It's a little bit thin for Joe Rogan, but yeah.
Now, I tried to...
For the record, there was some... I was hearing about some stuff with regards to actors kind of going after people who were using their likeness. It's one of those things that initially you're kind of like, oh, come on, man. People are just having fun on YouTube or whatever. But it's like, you think about it, kind of, especially after they're dead or something like that, even while they're alive, the notion that a person can take your voice and have you say anything or support anything or do anything with it, that is very unsettling. Especially with the way movies are so preachy these days and kind of politically divisive. At least they have been for the past decade here or whatever. So the notion that someone can literally just, again, they can use your voice in a movie to support a thing that you would maybe never have supported. They can use your voice in a video to say something and make... Yeah, it is extremely... I think I'm more on the side of the people who are going after these individuals at this point in time. I'll see if maybe that changes. But man, that is uncanny, unhealthy, ghoulish, especially with regards to the dead ones. Sorry, that's kind of the whole point.
Make this video 4 years ago, but I failed because it was too difficult to even demonstrate the technology. But today, anyone can be deepfaked, even the internet detective.
Hi everybody, this is Coffeezilla, and I don't usually do videos like this, but the crypto market is going through a major crash.
Now let me stop me right there. I can't believe I used to trust that guy. But truthfully, nobody is really safe from this tech. Mr. Beast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman, The Rock, John Cena, they've all been deepfaked. And it's not just for scams. Viral videos, news reports, the White House has even shared deepfakes.
I can imagine you would like... You could very easily clickbait people with stuff like that, probably.
And today, I want to investigate all of it so we can finally learn what's real and what's fake.
So I tend to wonder about that. Would it ever be possible to fake something to such like a good extent that it couldn't be discerned from reality? Because like that at that point, like what is a perfect facsimile of something except for the real thing itself? Like if you make a Rolex, that's a perfect facsimile of a Rolex. It's just kind of yeah. I don't know. I tend to think, maybe just the notion would be that there aren't no substitute for authenticity or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I would like to think that. Here's a question. I was just seeing robots, and complete divergence here. Well, bunny trail, rabbit trail, we'll say. But was Herbie inspired by Isaac Asimov's story? Because there's one in iRobot where there's a robot called Herbie, I believe, who can read minds. Which I believe Susan Calvin actually kills by presenting it with a paradox, which is kind of baller. But like, it's basically a robot that lies to people because it can read minds, and it's effectively perceiving that if it tells someone something of a certain sort, that something will hurt the person, and robots aren't supposed to hurt people, so it has to basically spin the truth or skirt the issue in order not to hurt people. So, like, I think Calvin, it's an interesting story, worth looking up. But again, like, I'm not like, would the movie Herbie about the bug, the VW bug, would that have been inspired by it? I'm not for sure.
All right, before we can investigate deepfakes, let's break down what they are. A deepfake is just a piece of media that makes a person...
I think Morgan Freeman was one of the people that was actually going after people for using his likeness. For the record, he's probably one of the ones who would really be farmed for that sort of thing because he is really popular. He is nice voice. So yeah, go to it, son.
And do or say something that never happened using deep learning. Hence the word deep fake. The technology has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
That was some weird eye action.
Word deep fake. The technology
Look at his eyes. That is unsettling.
has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
I'm gonna show you some magic. It's the real thing.
The voice sounds a little bit too high, I think.
Except, of course, it's not the real thing. That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher, and he's the co-founder of Metaphysic AI, and he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to...
So that's the thing. Here's a question.
That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher.
The thing is, I think they look a little bit similar, and I wonder if that helps with the deep fake. I wonder if you almost... Yeah. Cheekbones. Eyes are a little bit different, but I feel like he already has a little bit going for him in that his face looks kind of... I guess I don't know if that plays into it or not. Maybe it has nothing to do with it.
Fisher, and he's the co-founder of Metaphysic AI, and he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to 100, this felt like a 90, and I was worried about how it could be abused with scams, especially as they put in more effort, time, and money to push the realism. And that's why I reached out to Metaphysic AI in 2022 to collaborate, and they agreed to deepfake me so I could warn people. But unfortunately, that's when I hit a roadblock, because I learned about the incredibly complicated technology behind Deep Tom Cruise. I would need multiple broadcast cameras, lights, I had to read a special script, and that's just to get the model trained. Then you have to act, and for a variety of reasons, I wasn't able to finish the video. The magic of Deep Tom Cruise was that they made a very complicated process just look really easy. But ultimately, I'm glad I didn't finish that video because I was about to warn the world about this kind of hyper-realistic deepfake. And that's kind of what the world already is worried about, right? Because it captures our imagination. We can all imagine a world where this is the norm.
That's a lot better, actually. The one thing I tend to think that you have a hard time doing is eyeballs. They tend to reflect stuff. So it's one of those things. Well, and also eyes just move a lot. It's one of those things where I feel like they have a hard time like copying the natural movement of eyeballs in deepfakes or whatever. You know, it's literally. I think your eyes they never remain still for very long at all. I think that's actually the way we see. Our eyes are constantly moving. And again, I think that's something that in deepfake stuff they have a hard time figuring that stuff out.
Norm that you really can't tell what's real or fake, and that's why every few years a hyper-real deepfake celebrity goes viral because it's a step towards that fear.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time.
It's the whitest president ever. I do find it kind of funny that they probably picked the whitest black guy in the world to be the first black president. He is astonishingly white.
Like Jordan Peele.
But today I'm convinced there's a bigger risk, something that I...
Didn't Key and Peele do a thing where it's like, well, I think they ended up actually having, I'm thinking, Michael Key on with Obama at one point, but they had done a sketch about Obama's anger management translator or something. That was kind of funny. That's a good one.
I spent very little time worrying about, which is actually the dumb deepfakes, the slop deepfakes, the obviously bad ones that were made on consumer apps. The kind of deepfakes you don't need...
Okay, to be fair, that had me for a second there. I don't know, there's something about the lizard brain stuff that just jumps at, even if you know it's not real, it's just unsettling.
Professional equipment for, or a Hollywood team for. Early on, most people and myself just disregarded them because it just seemed like they were obviously fake. But the threat I didn't see coming was that curve we saw earlier flattening, and the low-effort deepfakes starting to get realistic enough to fool enough people. And that makes them far more dangerous than Deep Tom Cruise could ever be, because unlike him, anyone can make slop.
This thing, like, if you can just take and, I want to convince grandma that her son is in need or something, and so she'll give him some money like that. That is haunting. It's some very bleak outlook, I guess.
Deepfakes easily and at scale. And of course, that's exactly what happened in 2025. Literally the year of slop. That's when we all saw a tidal wave of content, and it's not a surprise why. AI tools had gotten cheap enough, easy enough, and just good enough to flood social media. And unfortunately, I think deepfakes are experiencing the same phenomenon. Just think about the difference between the two approaches. 4 years ago, I was set to collaborate with a world-leading deepfake company. I would need their help, their specialized technology.
See this? I can't.
A custom training set, and a huge amount of data. But today, I deepfake the...
Again, I'm wondering like how good it, or how much it requires like a backdrop of some sort. Would you need a person to paint the face onto or something like that? And would it matter if that person's face wasn't at all like the original?
Intro you saw in the beginning with two $20 subscriptions by myself. I used the likeness of 3 presidents, the world's richest man, the world's most popular YouTuber and podcaster, and had them all say things they never said. And how long did it take me? 2 days. Mostly because I'd never done it before. And you might say, well,
So it's really hard. If you look at like his face, even right here where he's just making expressions, the way it cracks, the way, you know, the stuff appears when he makes a face or stuff like that, it feels like it's very hard to copy like a near infinite array of little things that go into the way our faces make expressions, the way your voice might crack, the way people would hesitate at certain sentences. It's hard to... I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but I feel like there might still be a degree of, if you put a lot of effort into it, you can make it look good, but the low effort stuff is still going to be maybe a little bit short of the mark.
Didn't look as real as Deep Tom Cruise, and that's absolutely true. But my question that I'm starting to ask is, does it need to be that real to fool enough people to be dangerous? How
That's ridiculous. A soccer player could never hit that hard.
good is the average person anyways at telling the difference between AI fake?
Sorry, I wanted to... Should have looked at that before. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, honestly.
And the real thing. And this is where I realized I needed
Imagine if you were hearing the voice, it'd be a little bit
an
different too.
expert's help. So I went to the Discord diner to find answers.
Can you tell me your name and what it is you do?
My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California, Berkeley, where I specialize in digital forensics, misinformation. The first thing you want to ask yourself about the type of work that I do, which is building computational mathematical techniques to detect fake content, is do you need it? Can your visual system and your auditory system tell? We run, in my lab here at UC Berkeley, perceptual studies where we, for example, have people look at images.
Hold on. Oh, dang it, it already says. Yeah. It does. Yeah, I don't know if you look at the grass. You could maybe tell. I'm not for sure. It does feel like, generally speaking, AI photos, they almost look a little bit over the top with regards to some stuff. That's pretty good, though.
Half of them are real, half of them are fake. Hundreds and hundreds of participants, they're barely above chance. Images are through what we call the uncanny valley. They are now indistinguishable. Now, with voices, same thing. Real voices, fake voices, half real, half fake. We published this study just about a year ago, I think, maybe 9 months ago. Also, barely above chance. With video is interesting. So video is, we are doing this literally as we speak. We have a paper under review right now. I would say it's a little bit better than images, a little bit better than audio. Your accuracy, where chance is 50%, is about 70%, give or take. So slightly above chance. But again, in the best possible situation, in a lab setting where we're telling you what to do, they're not.
I feel like there's gonna be a future too where you start to get a lot of false positives. If people get really skeptical about fake videos, like, is it gonna become a thing where you start to? Because I remember the other day I was going to McDonald's, and I literally thought the dude who was talking to me was an AI or something. His voice was just very monotone. I don't think he wasn't a robot. I didn't mean any offense by it, but he just had that voice that kind of felt like picture perfect, like monotone, no enunciation or variability there. It's just kind of somehow I just thought he was an AI or something, or a robot.
Not emotional videos. They're not partisanship. You don't have a prior belief. I would say within the next 12 months, full-blown video is going to be over, right? It's over.
Let me repeat that. Most people cannot tell fake audio. They can't tell fake pictures. And in 12 months, they probably won't be able to tell.
I want to actually look into some of that stuff.
Tell fake videos.
There's a part of me that, like, just the proud, arrogant part of my brain would be like, yeah, I can totally tell.
What does this mean for us as a people who are
But for the record, I don't know. You'd maybe need to know what to look for.
living in a world of media? That is what this investigation is about. We're going to look at the 3 biggest applications of deepfakes in your life.
I'm going to guess in the case of that study, that's probably the best stuff, I assume. So I guess I don't know. Well, maybe not. But I was just assuming since they were people who studied this, maybe they would have a better sampling of actual videos or images or whatever to do it with.
Specifically, scams, propaganda, and explicit media. Starting with scams, where deepfakes are used all of the time to impersonate people, whether it be a loved one, a celebrity, an influencer like Mr. Beast. They're usually deepfaked to sell.
Wasn't there some sort of drama semi-recently over some dude? Never mind.
A worthless product.
If you're watching this video, you're one of the 10,000 lucky people who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just $2.
That Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok, if you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top.
Or in my
Sorry.
case, cryptocurrency.
But it's in moments like these that the best opportunities are born.
Sometimes they're even selling companionship.
We'll get through this together, step by step. You're not.
I find that unsettling. Just there's a point where I feel like this type of technology will subvert the process of like healthy grieving and letting go. So like in a specious sort of way, it might seem like, oh, this is going to be great. People will be able to, have this companionship with their. I don't think it is great. I think death is, comparatively normal. This is weird. This is weird. This is unhealthy. This is.
And I love you more than words can say.
But the goal every time is to leverage your trust in the deepfaked identity and use it to make money. One of the most common schemes are live streams of President Trump or other famous CEOs, deepfaked with a pretty simple scam.
If you want to come out stronger, you need to build your portfolio back up fast. And that QR code is your gateway. Minimum 0.1 BTC, 1 ETH. You send, you get double. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course, President Trump is not actually going to double your money, and scammers just steal whatever you send. But despite YouTube trying for years to shut this down, they keep popping up. These scammers keep bypassing restrictions all the time, and sadly, YouTube CEO even admits it's getting harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated, which he
I don't know.
says is critical for detecting deep fakes. Now, because of this, YouTube in 2026 is rolling out new tools to help creators catch deep fakes. But even those solutions aren't perfect.
My name is Dr. Mikhail Varshavsky, better known as Dr. Mike. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician who makes content online focusing on busting health misinformation. We are fortunate enough that we're participating in a beta with the YouTube team on something called the likeness detection tool to potentially flag instances where people are misusing my image, my likeness to say things that I'm not saying.
Have you
That's cool. I like Dr. Mike.
seen yourself deep faked in the wild yet?
I am deep faked in the wild every single day, numerous times.
That one looks weird. I feel like that one people would hopefully be able to tell, but man.
Times a day, and we're trying our best to fight back against that, given certain platforms have tools to fight back against this. But then there are platforms where you have no say, and you just have to be okay with your image being misused.
Right. Dr. Mike highlights a problem. He's in the YouTube detection program stopping deepfakes. But even if that were perfect, on other platforms, there's just nothing to help him.
And the problem in this space is you're only as good as the lowest common denominator.
Okay, so there's a problem where I see the issue there, but I also don't necessarily like the notion of like intra-platform cooperation. To me, that's kind of an Orwellian idea. I guess maybe they have to figure out something, but I would prefer if they're not like, hey, let's get all the platforms to cooperate with one another to take down these creators that are ostensibly AI stuff. Like, it feels like it's like as much damage as probably these AI things are doing, it's still kind of a dubious proposition in my mind.
You can have 9 out of 10 of these platforms doing the right thing, and one of them not, and guess where the bad guy goes?
Well, of course, to the place who allows deep fakes. Now, I should mention, it's not always a real doctor, detective, Mr. Beast that's being impersonated. Sometimes the deep fake isn't even of a real person, but the scam is some kind of bait and switch. Like when Corridor Digital showed how an AI modeling photo was used to bait and switch people into buying a product that wasn't what they advertised. And this is actually a huge problem in e-commerce. The YouTuber Pleasant Green made a video about a trend of old people selling you handcrafted products, only to find out that all these old artisans are AI generated, and the real owners are selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, which look nothing like the product photos.
Get what you pay for.
That cute couple selling you hand-knit sweaters, they don't exist. But even if the primary use
Say it ain't so.
of deepfakes is impersonating real or fake people, sometimes it's just to make the scam more efficient or to be safer. Think about scam callers. Previously, they needed a big call center. Sometimes they would get raided. But nowadays, those same companies can replace their workers with 10 times as many AI callers who don't sleep, don't ask for a raise, sound like a human, and most importantly, do not blow the whistle on you, making the operation both more scalable and safer to run. As someone who busts scams all the time, by the way, I can tell you it's usually the ex-wife, coworkers, contractors who unravel the whole thing. But if you need fewer people, your risk goes down. Just look at Checkpoint Research, a cybersecurity firm who recently uncovered malware called...
It's a kind of interesting notion. I don't know.
VoidLink. It was described as highly modular and...
Well, again, it's kind of a little bit of a bleak outlook, but I tend to think people are endlessly creative, and hopefully the ones who are good are more creative than the ones who are bad. Generally seems to be a character of a kind of a character trait of degenerates that entropy, I don't know, lethargy. They're not exactly the most ambitious of individuals. If they were, they wouldn't be evil, I guess. There tends to be that what is the word I'm thinking of? Dang it. Anyways, go check that out if you want. Investigating AI deepfakes by Coffeezilla. Alright, moving on.